I'm Mary Sarah Fairweather. I'm the director of the MSPCA Cape Cod, and I'm here with the Deputy Chief of Police from the Yarmouth Police Department, Stephen Exaros.
And our special friend.
And our special friend, Macy, who will be up for adoption shortly. So last year, I got a call from the Deputy Chief asking to have a conversation and to meet, and it was a little bit crazy at that time, but eventually we got together and he told me about not only his love for animals, but also his fiance's absolute adoration for animals. And we talked about how we might develop a partnership.
Yeah, it started with Chief Frank Fredericks, my police chief. We do a lot of community policing, reaching out, building partnerships. And he said, does anyone have any new ideas? And I went home and asked my fiancee Denise Kalbach, who is, like you said, a huge animal lover, and she had this idea of adopt with a cop, where we would take pets that need adoption, bring them to the police station, and have police and pets, and see if that would work. And it sounded great. Adopt with a cop. It was her idea. I called Mary Sarah, who I never met, and I'll never forget. She could have been like, what are you, crazy? That but she was very receptive on the phone. She said, "We're busy right now, but I'll get back to you. That sounds like a great idea." She did. That we did, adopt with a cop, which was fantastic at Yarmouth Police Headquarters, and that started this incredible relationship where we've become friends. Denise and I, and Mary Sarah and her husband Sam, and now it's taken to another level where we want to help veterans, where that's very dear to me. My son Nicholas was a Marine veteran who unfortunately was killed in Afghanistan in the war, and in his name and memory try to help others. And a great way is through pets. We know that veterans have done a lot for our country and seen a lot, heard a lot. 22 veterans commit suicide every day in America, which is incredibly sad. More die home than they do in war, and we need to stop that. And it can't just be the government doing everything. They do a lot to help our troops, but we do it as citizens and as organizations. And to put a pet in a veteran's arms is a win-win. And that's kind of where we started and where we're heading.
So we call it Wags for Tags. And so it's a program for our Cape Cod heroes. And it just launched, and we are incredibly excited about it.
The pride of being a veteran never ends, but boy, they struggle. And sometimes it's physically, we can see the wounds, and sometimes we can't. And I know what it's like to hold a pet, and I know Nick, my son, he loved dogs, and I remember him saying goodbye to his dog Gunner, and that was a special moment. And if we can do things to help others, we will, and we're proud.
Yes, and it helps the animals too, because almost all of them that have walked through our doors have been through something, whether it's traumatic or not, but they need a little extra love too, just like our veterans. So it is a very natural marriage of sorts. And we're doing this in partnership with the Nicholas Exaros Memorial Fund, and actually the fund is hosting a huge event in July called Big Nick's Ride. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. Every July we call it Big Nick's Ride for the Fallen, which is to remember the 14 fallen from the Cape. Just about every town has lost someone in this war, which is our country's longest war. Think about, unfortunately, all the wars we've been in. This is the longest one by far, and it won't end in the near future. So 14 from one small area is very powerful. It's devastating to the families. And we do the best we can to remember those 14. But really, it's for those that made it home. The ride is special. So this year is July 24th. It coincides with the day that Nick died, which is July 23rd. And we raise whatever we can. We're a nonprofit. We don't make any money. We just raise it and give it away. And whether it's scholarships for high school kids or, you know, quietly paying a plane ticket for someone to go see their loved one, or Cape Cod Times Needy Fund, or anything like that, or to support a program like this. We're kind of wide open where we can do a little bit of good in a lot of places, and